Breaking news, Canelo Alvarez, I was born ready, apparently is not born ready for another September and disappoints another Mexican date, September 12th, as his promoter, Roberto Diaz, Golden Boy, officially confirmed that he won't be fighting in September. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest. Get the UFC using my link in the description. Helps the channel. DC Cormier, Stipe Miocic Part 3. Use my link to order that ESPN Plus pay-per-view. It does help, and it should be a great fight. Now, Mr. I was born ready apparently wasn't born ready because the second time in second consecutive Septembers, we'll start there, Canelo will not be fighting. And the WBC had a convention, and Roberto Diaz of Golden Boy, who's the matchmaker, says Golden Boy's Roberto Diaz has now confirmed that Canelo Alvarez will not fight September 12th. He said that they're working on a new date with DAZN. Someone said, first comment, I thought Canelo was the face of boxing. Wow. You know, I'm just looking. DAZN can't afford an opponent. LOL shock. Wow. So I guess EGOStradamus strikes again. There's really not much to say. I told you Canelo wasn't going to be. And not only did I tell you, I didn't wait. I told you before anybody on my channel that it's just been looking bad for DAZN. The DAZN curse continues. Canelo negotiations look rather sloppy. He's clearly at odds with Golden Boy, and they're having a hard time getting fights across the line. And EGOStradamus predicted all this. I told you he was not likely to fight, and he was going to have to move off the fight. And I even did a bet with the fans. If you guys follow my channel, I said it multiple times, and I said I'll give out and pay out a gift card and have a sweepstakes, a raffle, you know, if I'm wrong. But I wasn't wrong, as it's now confirmed, which I was actually going to make a video, and I'm glad I didn't, because today is September 13th. So that would be less than a month, virtually a month, you know, because he was trying to fight September 12th, and they hadn't announced an opponent. So in a pandemic with a name like Canelo Alvarez, that's just, even though we're in a pandemic, you still want more time to promote. That's just, it's bad business. So I don't know what date Canelo will be fighting, but this is a terrible look for DAZN, for Eddie Hearn's American Takeover, for Golden Boy, and for Team Canelo. Now, let's talk about it. Canelo Alvarez has now disappointed 2 Septembers in a row. He was supposed to fight last September, Cinco de Mayo, or excuse me, Mexican Independence Day weekend, and long story short, he tried getting Kovalev, a fight nobody asked for, and they couldn't agree on paying Kovalev, and Kovalev, he said, I'm not taking less than what Danny Jacobs got. So they stalled him out. Kovalev ended up fighting on Anthony Yarde, which hurt the Canelo fight because he almost got stopped in that fight, and then they later fought, but Canelo didn't have an opponent. And then he's tried to switch from Kovalev September negotiations to Derevyanchenko, and that was his mandatory, so he should have fought him. Derevyanchenko's a quality fighter about to fight Charlo, and Canelo could have fought him, but he spent so much time, wasted time with Kovalev fooling around, lowballing him and Golden Boy, that it didn't happen. And then it lessened the fight, and then on top of it, when it did happen, it's just so much to unpack here. But when it did happen, they had to compete with UFC's Jorge Masvidal, Nate Diaz, which if Canelo fought him on his intended date of September, Mexican Independence Day, you know, the Mexican dates that Canelo said he wanted, then he wouldn't have had to compete, which also led to Canelo and Golden Boy and DAZN looking terrible because they had Canelo ridiculed for his main event not starting on time and starting at like 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time because they were waiting for the UFC to conclude because they felt they can't compete and they were going to lose money if they went on and it was overlapping, if it was on simultaneously. But again, this wouldn't have been the case had Canelo fought Derevyanchenko in September, you know, because the fight with Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal that had Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson there, that was a whole different month. But just bad business. Ryan Garcia is supposed to be fighting Luke Campbell, also a friend and stablemate of Canelo Alvarez. His fight has not been confirmed and official. Then they wait to basically less than a month before Canelo's reported date that he wants to fight, just to tell us what I already told you months ago, that Canelo wasn't going to fight September. And it's funny because EGOStradamus strikes again. Smash the like button. But Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. announced their exhibition. So when that came out, I told you that's a bad look. That's even further like proof that Canelo is not going to fight in September. And then it was recently announced that they were adding to the card and they pushed it back to November. And there were a lot of Canelo man fans, Cinnabons, and they came to my channel saying, aha, when's Ego going to make a video about Mike Tyson being postponed, as if it freed a lane for Canelo. I didn't make a video to it, but it had nothing to do with Canelo. I just didn't get around to making it, and I figured everyone heard the news. I got other stuff. I talk about what I want to talk about on my channel. If you don't like it, don't watch me, you know? So it had nothing to do with Canelo, why I didn't make the postponement video. I figured everybody in boxing had heard, you know? So it wasn't no big deal. But yet and still, the Canelo radical fans, they used it like, aha, Mike Tyson, as if Mike Tyson and Roy Jones had to bow off the September date to Canelo or something. That's not what it was, because once again, Canelo's still not fighting September 12th. So their decision, that was to add Badu Jack versus a guy I know, actually, Blake McKiernan, right? And to add fights like that. So they were adding fights rather than losing fights. Another DAZN curse. Mark Castro, another guy I know. He was supposed to fight in the street fight, the Eddie Hearn street fight on DAZN, right? And they said he tested positive for the 19. So I want to wish him a speedy recovery. But the main card, the main event got messed up. And Julio Cesar Martinez, who's a Canelo promotion fighter, he was the main event and he's a champion. He was supposed to fight McWilliams Arroyo. His fight canceled. They said he's sick. Then they elevated the female fight, Cecilia Brækhus versus McCatskill or whatever, as the main event. And then now a pro debut of Mark Castro was also taken off. So it's like they're losing fights left and right. Now Canelo's not fighting September. I mean, this is just a terrible look. So Mark Castro, he was supposed to fight. He said, I don't know where to begin, but my fight has been canceled due to my testing positive. So he was on the DAZN upcoming card. So it's just looking bad for DAZN, man. If I'm just being honest, it's looking bad. They can't get Canelo situated. Ryan Garcia's fights taking forever. We're in a pandemic. Fighters are dropping off like flies from these cards, and they're charging $20 a month, you know? And, you know, this is a real shock. Then they just lost JoJo Diaz. It's like, I don't even know where to begin at this point. So it's looking like Golden Boy has lost Joseph JoJo Diaz, who's a champion. So how is Golden Boy losing fighters? Ryan Garcia, Luke Campbell fight taking forever. Canelo is officially off the September date. Canelo had an opportunity to beat Mayweather, to claim those dates that Mayweather was fighting on, which are the so-called Mexican dates. He lost by a country mile versus Floyd Mayweather. And Floyd said that was one of his easiest fights. Then Canelo, by default, Mayweather retires. Canelo has the opportunity to take those dates just based on his ethnicity. You know, he's from Mexico. So he's from Mexico, from Guadalajara, Mexico. And he had the opportunity because he was the biggest name and the most popular guy in Floyd's absence. So he, by default, gets those dates that he didn't strong arm from Floyd, but he had the opportunity to. And then now he can't fulfill them. One Cinco de Mayo, he failed a drug test with clenbuterol on February 17th and 20th. So that Golovkin fight, the rematch, got canceled for Cinco de Mayo. Then this Cinco de Mayo, the pandemic struck. So his fight with Billy Joe Saunders that never got around to getting announced, by the way. Billy Joe Saunders later came out and said there were no contracts signed. It's just, why is it taking so long? Now for the 2nd September, Canelo doesn't have a dance partner and has to bow off the dates. But these are the dates that Canelo said he wanted. He wanted them. So how is it that Golden Boy has Canelo? He's getting a bag from DAZN. He's a great, terrific fighter. But the dates he wants, you know in advance that he wants to fight in May and September. And somehow, some way, he can't fight. And then now more fights are being announced from Fox and Showtime. And then the Mike Tyson. Hey, it's me, Mike Tyson. You're a real rat piece of shit. The fight with Roy Jones got moved. So that's another date. I mean, is Canelo really going to fight November 28th or whenever the Roy Jones Mike Tyson fight is? So that's another date that's not available. It's just like nobody's waiting for Canelo. You know, people are booking up dates. See, so this is another date. I mean, it'd be foolish for Canelo to try to compete with this app versus app This is a very all-American fight. And they actually added some interesting fights to the card, like Jake Paul, Nate Robinson. Tyson's looking ripped up, looking like he 20 or something. Badu Jack, my dude, is doing a fight on that card. And Blake McKiernan. So they're adding fights to it. Meanwhile, DAZN's losing programming, losing original content, losing fights. Fights are being pushed back. Fighters are dropping off for sick reasons. It's just, they got to figure this out. And then another thing is you have a person like Eddie Hearns, and Eddie Hearns keeps telling you that Showtime schedule is bad, or, old media is telling you like, hey, I don't like the Fox schedule. But what about DAZN? Like, Eddie Hearns really not in any position to critique really anybody's schedule. You can't get Caleb Smith to fight, or it's taking forever. Canelo's not fighting September. They said it was John Ryder. It's like they don't know what to do. Like, they don't know what they're supposed to be doing. This is a terrible look for Canelo. He robbed the bank, got this crazy deal, and they're mismanaging his whole career. It's like there's so many great fights. Teofimo Lomachenko, they're saying it's agreed upon. That's an amazing fight. Nobody in boxing is waiting around for Canelo. He's a terrific fighter. I give my props to him for that. But the way they're handling and juggling Canelo's career, this is looking bad. It's taking too long for Canelo to fight. He keeps missing his important Mexican dates that he said he wanted. And then other people are coming to terms, like Teofimo Lomachenko. They had some hiccups. There were some money disputes, but it's looking like they got that situated. Meanwhile, all we know is Canelo's not fighting September 12th officially. That's all we know. But we still don't even know who he's fighting. This is just a terrible look. What is Golden Boy doing? What is DAZN doing? And the thing that's scary is this is the person that's making the most money with DAZN. This is the person per their boxing contract, he has the biggest contract. And the better thing to do was, let's say Canelo commands so much money where you can't make him fight, where you can't afford for him to fight, then just say that. That's it. That's all you had to do. Just say, and then you wouldn't have to worry about me being right. Just say, you know what? We don't know if Canelo's fighting September. It's not looking likely because we have no live gate, no crowds, and he needs too much money. And we haven't branded anybody, and we haven't promoted anybody to be his antithesis to the point where it doesn't lead to a financial loss. That's all you had to say. But instead, once again, you let me be right on this YouTube. How is it a little old YouTuber like myself? Like I'm in that Steph Curry zone. I'm just hitting my threes. Splash Brothers. We keep hitting the nail on the head. And that's what I want to drive home, and I want people to see, because it's all real on this side of the field. Bad look for Canelo. Let me know what you guys think. He ain't fighting in September. Don't know who he's fighting. Don't know when he's fighting. But clearly there are problems. He just keeps falling off of these dates. This is the biggest star on their platform. And again, the game don't wait. Mike Tyson fighting Roy. Floyd's probably coming back to an exhibition. Dana White keeps saying Floyd and him are going to work together. You got Teofimo Lomachenko. You got the boy Errol Spence. Man down. DeSoto, Texas. Danny Garcia. You got Wilder likely to fight Fury in the third fight. You got some big fights. The Charlo brothers, they're promoting the hell. They're promoting the hell out of themselves. They got YouTube channel, all types of stuff. And Canelo's being forgotten about. He's like literally posting pictures of him golfing. That's not enough, bro. Like, I don't know if Canelo lost some hunger, but just posting these little smiley faces, you got to do the real grunt work. And I told you, one of my fears for DAZN was they came with this inflated purses that would mess up the market, especially for them. And it could lead to fighter complacency. Now, I do think Canelo is disciplined, so I wouldn't say he's complacent in terms of not being a gym rat, not staying in shape or taking his career serious. But in terms of promotional duties, he's definitely not the one for that. Like, he looks like he's just enjoying his money, family time, and, golfing and stuff like that, which is cool. But Floyd made more money than Canelo in a shorter period of time, and he never stopped promoting. Conor McGregor, he's making a lot of money, but he's also making a lot of noise when he fights. I don't know what you're thinking. Fuck the Mayweathers. Who the fuck is that? Shut your fucking mouth, mate. He's still promoting. Canelo out here golfing and posting these little Hallmark pictures and stuff like that. Meanwhile, he's getting passed by other great fights. I told you, the world is not just going to sit and wait for Canelo. Anyway, I'm out. I'm done. I said what I said. I was right. Canelo ain't fighting September. So all the people who coming to my channel saying, oh, Ego, why did you talk about Mike Tyson, Roy Jones getting postponed? Because it didn't matter. Canelo still ain't fighting. Like I said, checkmate. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more sports. Get unlimited access to premium content with an ESPN Plus subscription. ESPN Plus offers a variety of content, including specials, behind the scenes, docuseries like Bruce Lee's Be Water, and much more. With an ESPN Plus subscription, you get access to a ton of classic archive fights and replays from boxing and the UFC. Big names like, hi, I'm Mike Tyson, come and watch my fight. Floyd Mayweather, easy work, I'm rich. And Manny Pacquiao, yes, it's up to my promoter, just to name a few. If that's not enough, you could get the ESPN bundle, which includes ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus. All three apps, one low price. You don't want to miss out. Make sure you guys click that link in the description box of all of my videos. Ego, signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.